Hello, and thank you for joining me today for an intro to Yin Yoga. In this video, we're going to talk about what Yin Yoga is, how to practice it safely, and at the end have a short video that you can come back to and practice as you begin to implement Yin into your regular yoga practice. So what is Yin Yoga? Yin Yoga is a style of practice designed to help stress and work into our fascia, that connective tissue, the stuff that is not our bones and our muscles, our organs, the stuff that we often forget about. So why is Yin Yoga important? So when we start stretching our muscles or building strength in our muscles, we often find limitations. The way I love to describe it is our fascia, the stuff that we're stretching in our Yin practice, is a container or like a plastic bag that our muscles are in. And when we stretch that bag and allow that space to be bigger, more fluid, our muscles are able to become a little bit bigger and stronger and have more freedom and range of motion. We often stretch into our tendons, ligaments, and other connective tissue, and that helps us find strength and range of motion within our joints. That's why when we talk about Yin, we often talk about stretching into our joints instead of our muscles. So how is Yin Yoga different from other practices? Our typical yoga practice, our Hatha yoga practice, it's your Hatha or your Vinyasa, your Hot, your power yoga, what most people think of as our yoga. That works into building strength and flexibility with our muscles. So we're working towards stretching into the muscles themselves. In our Yin practice, we're working towards the other stuff, that connective tissue, the stuff that we don't want to touch in our other physical practice because the tissue itself stretches and becomes more fluid differently. Our muscles like to be moved really quickly, and all the fascia and connective tissue likes to be stretched very slowly. So if you think of toffee, if you try and pull it apart really quickly, it'll snap. And that's what our tendons, ligaments will often do if we try and stretch them the way we stretch our muscles. But if you take that toffee and slowly pull it apart, you get that nice, long, thin, still strong piece of toffee. So that's what we're doing at our Yin practice. A lot of people associate or correlate Yin with restorative, and restorative is a slightly different practice. We are moving into postures and letting our bodies be in those postures, but Yin, we are stressing our body. We're still putting some strain and stress on those connective tissues, on those fascia. In restorative, you're letting your body be fully supported and propped up so that you're not feeling that stress. That's why it's the difference between the two. Restorative allows your body to be in that supported space and heal. Yin is still a practice that's stressing our bodies, allowing our bodies to open and move in different ways. So what is the Yin practice? Our Yin practice really consists of 3 principles. So we apply these principles to all the poses that we work in. And all the poses that we use are poses that we'll find in our other physical practice, our Hatha or Vinyasa classes, but we'll move into them with this different mindset. That's why a lot of times we call the Yin poses by different names, to give us that understanding that we're moving into a different style of pose, different style of practice, rather than come into the exact same one and work into stretching the muscle. So the first one is our appropriate depth. And the appropriate depth is the depth of the pose where you feel some stress in your body, but you're able to stay there in stillness, which is another principle, and for the time, which is the third principle. So our appropriate depth is when you move into the pose and you start to feel something in your body, understanding if you can stay there, if that's okay for you, and if you can find stillness. And if it's not, then allow yourself to back out a little bit to find a depth where you can be there. And that depth will change throughout the pose, throughout the practice, throughout your own practice. So the longer you move or apply Yin into your regular practice, that depth is going to be different, but also throughout the same class. So right when you move into a practice, into a pose, you can find that depth, and maybe a minute into the pose, it's going to feel different. Maybe you need to back out, or maybe you need to work a little bit deeper. But either way is right. The important thing is understanding and making the choice to find that different depth. A lot of times we'll move into the pose and we're uncertain, so we back out a little bit or move in, and we don't find that stillness, and that's a very important principle. So understanding what is an appropriate depth and being able to understand and come back to that space. The next principle is stillness. And we're trying to find stillness not just in our body, but in our breath and our mind. So I often refer to stillness in our breath as a calm, steady breath. So our breath is a very big indicator of how our body is reacting and how our mind is reacting. When we have a calm, steady breath, our body understands that and is able to settle itself down. Oftentimes when our breath is calm and steady, our mind is able to still itself a little bit more too. So allowing your breath to be a guide, but also trying to control the breath by finding a slow, steady breath. Whatever pattern works for you. We also try and find steadiness within our mind, and that's keeping our mind present. Oftentimes when we find a discomfort in our body, or we let our mind wander, and we're trying to let our mind find that stillness. And the other principle is time. So in that time, we often use some external factor. If you're in a class, you let the teacher determine it, or if you're taking an online class, still the same idea of the teacher is determining the time. If you're doing it yourself, you can have a little timer, your phone, or a little timer, let the alarm be not so harsh or scary. Oftentimes we have alarm set, but let it be something subtle, but that you can come back to. So how do we make yin more than just a physical practice? So our yin practice, we always talk about the physical side of it, but it's still the idea with our other yoga practice, our physical movement of the muscles, we talk about a moving meditation. So our yin practice is still an idea of a meditation, of allowing our mind to be focused in the present moment and allowing our body to be calm and our breath to be still. The same aspects that we work through in all of our other forms of yoga. Even when we're sitting in our meditation, we're looking towards finding stillness in our body, calm breath, and a focused mind. Same principles apply within our yin practice. So some other notes to look into before moving into your yin practice and also moving forward within your yin practice is ease into the practice. Just like anything new, your body is going to take some time to adjust. So when you start to move into postures, go towards that front edge. I often refer to our edge as a range. So we can move into a pose, we start to feel something, and we can still feel something all the way to the point where we start to feel pain. We don't want to ever feel pain in our practice. So when you start your practice, especially with yin, go to where you just barely start to feel something and find your stillness there. And once you understand what's okay for your body, you can start to work deeper, but start slow. Also start with shorter times. Yin is a practice where time is a very important factor. And the longer you are in a pose, the deeper your body's going to be able to work, but it takes more practice and more of the practices to be able to work into that longer periods of time. So start with maybe 1 to 2 minutes per pose per side, and then after that starts to feel okay, then you can work a little bit longer in each posture. Another note to have is use props. I use a whole lot of props during my practice. Use enough props, blocks, bolsters, blankets, whatever you might need or have around you to support yourself where you can still feel certain strains and stresses in the body that we're working towards feeling, but doing so without allowing yourself to be fully supported up. So use it just enough to support you, but not enough to make it your restorative practice. And if you want to study further, there's a number of great resources out there today. So there's a lot of in-person classes. One of the greatest places to further your yin practice is with a teacher in a classroom with them. You can take workshops, some immersions, weekend-long immersions, or even trainings. Yin trainings are a great place to learn more about the practice, your body, and how your body works within the poses. Even if you don't want to teach, taking a training like that is a great way to deepen your knowledge of yin. Also, there's a great book, a great reference, this green book. It's The Complete Guide to Yin Yoga by Bernie Clark. I'll put a link in the description below, but it's a really great resource of understanding what yin is, how we can work it into our practice, and has a number of sequences in the back of the book that you can work on your own at home. So thank you. We are now going to move into our yin practice. It's going to be a shorter practice, only about 20 minutes, about 2 minutes for each posture. And it's a great practice to come back to as your body is becoming accustomed to this yin yoga style of practice. We're going to start by finding a short meditation, allowing our bodies to center, our breath to find that stillness, and our mind to come into our practice. So allowing yourself to find a comfortable seat, any comfortable seat for you. You can have support under your hips or under your knees or wherever you need to be. Allowing your arms to rest somewhere so that your shoulders can relax. Allowing your breath to find a slow, steady rhythm. Slow, deep breaths in. And slow, deep breaths out. If you begin to notice your mind start to wander, allowing your breaths to move into a space that's a little bit deeper and fuller. And taking 2 sighing breaths out here. A deep breath in. And a big sigh out. Doing one more just like that. A deep breath in. And a big sigh out. We're going to move into our caterpillar, our seated forward fold. We're letting your legs extend out long in front of you. You can have a slight bend to your knees or any support under your knees that you might need. Finding length through your spine, beginning to lean forward. And finding your appropriate depth, the depth that you're okay with being in. Allowing your body to move into that space. Allowing your muscles to relax as much as is okay for you. You can have any amount of support underneath your chest, your arms, your head, neck. Once you find that space, allowing yourself to relax. And taking 2 more full breaths here. A deep breath in and out. Another full deep breath in and out. When you're ready, slowly rising back up. pausing here for a breath or two. A deep breath in and out. I'm going to move into your butterfly or your bound angle. So letting the soles of your feet come together. If you want any support underneath your hips, a block or a bolster, or anything you might need. Letting your feet come as close to your hips as is okay with your knees. Letting your legs start to relax out beside you. And if you feel any discomfort in a knee, let support come underneath that knee. Finding length through your spine, maybe a gentle fold forward, maybe a soft round forward. And allowing your body to relax just enough so your muscles can release. Your body can start to find some sense of ease in these postures. We're still working towards finding stress in the body, but allowing gravity to do the work. Taking 2 more full breaths here. A deep breath in and out. Another full deep breath in and out. Slowly rising back up. Letting your knees draw towards each other. On your feet, come about mat width apart and a gentle windshield wiper side to side. When you're feeling ready, we're going to move into your Dragonfly, your wide angled fold. Letting your hips come back down onto your mat. Letting your legs come out into a straddle. So you may have your hands behind you supporting you. If you feel the strain or the stress through the backs of your legs or your back, you can stay right there, allowing your chest to start to lift. You want to work a little bit deeper, maybe sitting up tall, or maybe beginning to fold forward. Wherever you end up, allowing your body to release, and your breath and your mind to find some stillness. Taking 1 more breath here. Breath in and out. Slowly rising back up. Doing a slight bend to your knees, maybe your hands underneath your knees, and finding a gentle windshield wiper side to side once more. When you're ready, we're going to make your way onto your bellies. You can get there however you would like. We're going to move into your Sphinx. Letting your forearms come onto your mat, elbows directly underneath your shoulders. So letting the elbows come in nice and tight in, allowing your chest to start to lift. If it's too much on your upper back, you can let the arms come out a little bit further, less of a strain. But eventually working towards your elbows right underneath your shoulders. And allowing your upper body to release. Releasing as much muscular engagement as feels okay in your body. It's going to feel different person to person, day to day, but allowing you to find that space. Taking 2 more full breaths here. Deep breath in and out. Another full deep breath in and out. Letting your palms come to stack, your elbows to draw wide, letting your forehead release down. You can let your hips rock side to side. You can bend your knees and let your feet windshield wiper side to side. And when you're ready, we're going to move into your child's pose. You can bring your hands under your shoulders, pressing into your table. You can let your knees be together or a little bit wider apart. Letting your hips start to draw towards your heels. If they don't come all the way there, that's okay. Letting your upper body begin to relax. You can bend your elbows, let your forearms rest. You can let your head and neck relax down. If you need to, you can bring support in between the ground and your forehead. So your forehead could rest onto something, a block, a bolster, maybe your hands. Taking a few moments here to breathe. Ready, slowly rising into your table. We're going to make your way onto your backs, however you'd like to get there. Slowly rolling onto your back. And once you're there, you can draw your knees in towards your chest. You can find a light rock side to side or some circles. We're going to move into your lying twist, letting your knees stay together. Letting your knees come over towards the left side of your body. If your knees don't touch the ground, you can bring a block or bolster there. If there's a gap between your knees, you can bring a block or bolster there as well. Letting your body move into a space where the legs can relax where they are. And taking a full deep breath in. And a big sighing breath out. Taking one more full deep breath in and out. Slowly letting your body come back through center, realigning your spine, your hips, your shoulders. And then when you're ready, letting your knees come over towards the other side. Whatever side you did not do. Taking any amount of support underneath your bottom knee or in between your knees. Allowing your shoulder, your head, and your neck to release. And taking another full clearing breath, a deep breath in. And a big sigh out. Taking one more full breath in and out. When you're ready, coming back through center, realigning your spine. And we're going to move into your Shavasana, your final relaxation. Letting your legs extend out long, mat width maybe a little bit wider, arms out beside you. Taking up as much space as you need in your body, allowing you to be as comfortable as you can. It's allowing you to relax, to release, to let go, and taking 2 clearing breaths, a full deep breath in, and a big sigh out. Taking another deep breath in, and another sigh out. Allowing your body to relax here, to release down onto your mat. Letting go of any stress, any strain, any thoughts, any control of your thoughts. Allowing your body to completely relax and let go. Allowing your breath to move in and out as it will. And slowly begin to deepen your inhalations and your exhalations, allowing with each breath life, energy, and movement back into your bodies, your fingers and toes, arms and legs, back and through your head and your neck. Allowing one hand over your belly and one hand over your heart space. Sealing the practice today with a single breath. Taking a deep breath in and a big sigh out. Thank you so much for sharing your time, space, and energy with me today. The light in me sees and honors the light within you. Namaste. Thank you. If you enjoyed doing this practice, you like to take some longer ones, we have a couple other 60-minute long Yin Yoga practices. So take a look at some of those if you want some longer practices. Have a great day.